Hi, I'm Michael Rennie, President and CEO of Poway Onstage, and it's my pleasure to welcome you here today to our first ever online version of Introduction to Instruments. For nearly 20 years, Poway Onstage has partnered with your school and the Poway Unified School District to present Introduction to Instruments, a program whose goal it is to light a spark, either in your school's music program or any of the performing arts. We know that next year you have the opportunity to start playing a musical instrument, and since we can't be together today, we put together this video version of the program. Students from Westview High School's band have put together an exciting show that's designed to teach you all about the various types of musical instruments, woodwind, brass, percussion, and more. We want to thank all of the people who made this program possible, in particular Mitch Way and the Westview High School Band, our friends at Bertrand's Music, and all of the supporters of Poway Onstage. We hope you enjoy this online version of Introduction to Instruments, and we hope to see you again soon.
Hey there! Welcome to our 2020 Introduction to Instruments concert, compiled virtually from the homes of many of the leaders of Westview High School's instrumental music program known as Westview Gold. We hope these videos will help you make an informed decision on what you want to play next year when you choose an instrument in 5th grade. If you're not sure which instrument you want to play yet, don't worry. Just pick the one that you think you might like the best, and we're sure that you'll find that playing instruments with your friends in middle school is so much fun no matter what you choose. So without further ado, here's Westview Gold.
First up, we'll show you one of the smallest and most high-pitched instruments in the band and orchestra, the flute. Flutes are part of the woodwind family, which consists of not only flutes, but also clarinets, saxophones, oboes, and bassoons. Flutes have a hole in the head joint, which they blow across just like a bottle to make the sound. They change notes by using keys, and also by changing the speed of the air they're blowing. Want to hear what they sound like? Here's a piece we put together with a little touch of Disney.
Our next instrument in the woodwind family is the clarinet. Clarinets are made of wood or sometimes plastic and have metal keys.
They come in two main sizes, the standard soprano clarinet and also a bigger and deeper bass clarinet. Clarinets and saxophones both make their sounds by blowing into a mouthpiece with a reed attached.
The reed vibrates and creates an air column that can be manipulated by keys that are very similar to the flute. Some of the clarinet section luckily got a great recording of an awesome piece for 7 clarinets right before the quarantine started. So here's Pixels by Japanese composer Yosuke Fukada.
The next member of the woodwind family is called the saxophone. They come in all different kinds and sizes, and they create a sound somewhat similar to the clarinet. But unlike the clarinet, the body of the saxophone is made of metal instead of wood or plastic. If you look real close, you'll notice that the saxophone is a really long cone instead of a cylinder, which also changes the kind of sound made by the instrument. While the saxophone is a very cool instrument, it is much heavier than any of the other woodwinds, so make sure you think about that when you're selecting an instrument, because you'll be carrying it back and forth to school every day. Here's the saxophone.
Next up, we have the most interesting and by far the most ancient members of the woodwind family. These are collectively called double reeds, and the family consists of oboes, English horns, bassoons, and contrabassoons. Now, you might be thinking, why are all these different looking instruments all part of the same family? Well, it's because they all make the sound the same way, by blowing through two reeds connected by string or wire, much like blowing through a flattened straw. Kind of like this. These are the oldest woodwind instruments and have the most unique sound of all the band and orchestra instruments. Now, are any of you guys Star Wars fans? Well, one of the coolest pieces written for the series features double reeds. So, here's our rendition of Cantina Band from Star Wars.
Alright, are you guys ready to hear some of the best, the brass instruments? First up are the trumpets. We're the highest member of the brass family, and like many of the others, we have 3 valves. Now, all of us brass instruments make sound the same way, by buzzing our lips into a small cut mouthpiece that looks like this. Okay, are you ready to hear the trumpets play? Well, today you're in for a special treat because you're going to hear a tune from Rocky played by not just trumpet players from all over San Diego, but one of the most famous trumpet players in the world, the legendary lead player from the Incredible soundtrack, Wayne Bergeron. Enjoy!
most visually beautiful instruments in the band and orchestra is the French horn. Even though the diameter of the French horn's pipe is smaller, this is still 18 feet worth of tubing spiraled together. That's as much as a tuba. Because of this, it has the biggest range of any wind instrument, able to play as high as trumpets and as low as tubas. While horn certainly isn't the easiest instrument to play, it does tend to get the best parts with the most variety. Many of the best melodies written for film scores are written for French horns, like these.
You may have seen or heard a trombone before. It uses a slide to change pitch, but it makes sound the same way as a trumpet or a horn. That leaves two instruments, euphoniums and tubas. Euphoniums and tubas are very similar, except euphoniums play higher than tubas, and tubas play the lowest notes of the band. All three of these instruments have a range of about 2 to 3 octaves, which allows them to play full tunes. Here's a little bit of Bohemian Rhapsody for you.
The section with the greatest variety of instruments would easily be the percussion section. It includes the membranophones, which you guys probably already refer to as drums, the idiophones, which are the mallet instruments like marimba, glockenspiel, and xylophone, and all of the other various little instruments that we call toys, like the cowbell, maracas, shakers, and tambourine. Now, here's all of those instruments together in a current pop song that you've probably already heard by now.
Finally, we have one more instrument family to show you, and that's the string section. Violins are the smallest and highest. Followed by their slightly larger cousins, the violas. It might be hard to tell the difference unless you see them right next to one another. Most of these instruments are played on your shoulder with a bow. Then we have the cellos. And basses. Both of which are called floor instruments because they stand on the floor while you play them. All string instruments create sound the same way, by drawing the bow across the string, creating friction which causes the air around the instrument to vibrate and make beautiful sounds. When you put these instruments together, they make up the entire string section of the orchestra. Here's what they sound like all together on one of our favorite pieces that we're sure you'll recognize.
Did you guys have fun? Well, we hope we've helped you make some decisions about what you might want to play next school year, and we hope even more that you'll stick with it all the way into high school and college, where it gets really fun to play in band or orchestra. Thank you all for watching, and stay safe.